Yo, the Cosmic here. I just wanted to let y'all know about my watch list for Monday. I kind of finished it all up. There were just so many plays to kind of filter through. Just looking at my weekly watch list, just so many gainers that I really wanted to take a look at a little bit more. And actually, GMBL, I don't like the second. I do not like the second Green Day. So that's one of the main reasons why it is not on my watch list. So going back to my Monday watch list, I have WRTC, PRTY, DVAX, XSPA, and MARK. So let's just go ahead and start with the first one. WRTC, Wrap Technologies Inc. They have it's a low float runner that ran on Friday, and they also had news right here that they were appearing live on a Chicago Fox channel. In fact, they actually did. So the fact that they had news on the weekend, they have technology to um, detain perpetrators without using lethal force. I.e., it's not a gun, it's not a taser, it's a bolo wrap. They shoot it and they'll wrap them all up. It's actually really cool. But then you also see this right here. You have insider buys, and insider buys are a freaking amazing indicator of these people who are on the inside are believing that this stock is going to keep going up. So, like I said, it's a low float, 14 million, right in the my alley. And I went over the sliding scale earlier. I believe I had it at a 84. So this is a big potential play for me, and I'm also in it as well. So, like I said, it is a 84 on my sliding scale, and I'm going to that's a big play for me. Just kind of going to the actual charts, um, laying out my plan here. I'm already in around the 670 average. You can see here I got 20 shares at 655 and then 30 shares at 680. The spread is just so ugly. I couldn't get anything executed until here, as you can see right here. So unfortunately, I got it at 680, but I'm not too worried about that. 670 is a nice, good average. If it can reliably break right here above the sevens, I do think that this can run. Looking at the 1 year chart, it went all the way up to the 770s, close to the eights, as its next major resistances. And look, it just keeps topping up here at the eights. So best case scenario, I am selling in the high sevens. So that's my plan for that on WRTC. Next, we're going to look at PRTY. Let me pull up Benzinger real quick. And it comes down there. All right. So on PRTY, they had an amazing first substantial green day right here, and we have some. They came out with their news right here. The shares are trading higher after the company announced a transition support agreement with bondholders, which is expected to deliver its balance sheet by $450 million. So this is good news. It is big news. You can see the stock spiked up in from the low ones, almost like a whole dollar a share right there. So it is a runner. Like right here, you can see that it spiked actually in the pre-market from the ones all the way up to the twos. And then it faded back down into the low to mid ones closing. But I can see a lot of momentum going ahead and taking this up. Risk reward, honestly, if I were to get in right now, which ideally I want to get in around the 150 range, as you can see, it kind of held its resistance right here at 150 after it eventually cracked all the way down. So if it can break out above 150, that's going to be my ideal entry. And that would, yeah, like I said, that would be my ideal entry with my risk sitting here at 130. So that's about, 20 cents of downside. That's still kind of high for a $1 stock, but 20 cents of downside at 150, and if I can get, a good 20 cents of upside, but you're kind of looking at this in the 1 year chart, they're trying to fill this gap right here from the stock market crash. So with everything reopening, I can hopefully see it come up and test the high twos. So I want to say, 250 would be my indicator to sell. So 150 to 250, $1 share upside, 50-cent share downside. Going into my sliding scale, that risk reward, it is a $1 to 20 cents, so it's a 5 to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a good 18 for the risk reward. The pattern, it is, let me show you here. It is a it's not technically a green day. It finished red, but if I can see a good amount of volume going into the pre-market, we could see a resurgence. But because it's not a first green day and it actually did finish red on the day, or I mean, it shows it finished green, but that's from the previous close. It's it opened right here and closed right here, so we are looking at a red day, but it could run with volume. So I want to go ahead and say the pattern is not the greatest. Going back to my SSS, the pattern in price is not the greatest, but it is right in my alley. And from what Benzinga says, it's not as low as a float. But if it can get good volume, then I think this could have a chance to run. So I'm honestly going to put this at a 12. Ease of entry and exit, from what I've heard, it's not really that hard to get in and out of PRTY. Also, it's float. It's not super low, but it's not high. So I'm going to give that, a 9. History of spiking. Again, we go back to this right here. History and spiking on volume. Well, let's just look at it. Right here, it spiked from the 50s to the 90s right here on a good volume candle. And you can see just consistent, more and more volume. So this stock is showing patterns of if it has volume, it's going to spike. And these are, you can tell, it's some of the most traded volume days and in recent history. So if we can get more volume coming back in, look, it did around above 50 million in volume. So it flipped its float, 65 million. So it did flip its float. So if we get more volume, then yes, this is going to be a good play. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and come back here and go ahead and give that a 10 because it has spiked off volume. Time and schedule, I look at pre-market trading. I do have somewhere to be at 8 a.m. Central, so that's 9 a.m. Eastern. So I want to try to get in for the pre-market. I will be playing between 7 to 8, and then I have to go do something and then come right back and catch the market open. So since I had that little issue, I want to give it a 14. Reasons and catalysts, I mean, it is a good reason, a good catalyst. That's how come it spikes so much. And the current market environment, the whole market environment is on a rebound at the moment. So I'm going to just go ahead and put that at a 9. So this is sitting at an 82, which is a good buy for me for PRTY. So PRTY, I'm going to go ahead and put that here in my watch list I have down in my other screen. I'll show you that here in a second. And it is a 82 SSS. All right, next we have DVAX. All right, it's a little bit of a higher stock that I've been noticing. I don't typically like higher stocks. Don't like to play stocks over $5, but I'm already in WRTC. If the pattern is there, I don't mind anything less than $10. So DVAX, had some notable insider buys on Saturday, which is really, really good. And then they changed beneficial ownership on Friday. And before the market open, around the market open, you can see it circulates Sky News article on effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccine. So it's a COVID play. So going right back to my psych sliding scale, DVAX. Market environment, because it's a COVID play, it's a 10, and it's a bull market at the moment. Reason catalyst, another 10 right there. What time of day it is? It's going to be the same thing as PRTY. It's going to be 14. Past performance history of spiking. We can go right to the E-Trade chart, and we see right here, recent high volume, nice spike. High volume, nice spike. And let's look at other. Look right here. High volume, huge gap up right there. High volume, spike. This was a bad volume day. I mean, it was high volume and it gapped down, actually. So this stock does have a history of spiking on volume. So with that, I am going to give DVAX a 8. And you know what? We can go ahead and move PRTY to an 8 as well. Ease of entry and exit, I'm also going to give it a 9 because, like I said, it is a little bit of a higher float stock. And it also sold, let's see what E-Trade is telling me. It actually didn't even flip its float at all. So the fact it didn't flip its float is kind of a negative ping on it. So if it can get more volume, yeah, if it can get more volume, I would like to see that. So actually, I want to go ahead and bump this down to a 7. Risk reward. So let's actually take a check at that. If I were to get in, granted it doesn't gap up before the morning, I really want to see my entry right here at 650. If it can hit 650, my risk is going to be 618, 620. So 30 cents of downside, and then easily 50 cents of upside. So 30 cents downside, 50 cents upside. It's not looking that great for risk reward. It's still a little bit higher, but I kind of want to see more of a 2-to-1. So, I mean, that's just building my case even more. So risk reward, I'm actually going to put this one at a 12. And then the pattern and price, it's a little bit higher for me, but the pattern is there. And it is a spiker. So just like PRTY had its ups and its downs, this one's going to have its ups and downs too. So I'm going to put that at 12. So it's sitting at a 73 for me. So it's less of a buy indicator for me. It's less of a buy indicator than PRTY for me. And this it can definitely change here and there. So like I said, it's all subjective. If it starts showing some good movement in the morning, then I am definitely going to have that on my watch, a good watch to play. So XBAR, let's go ahead and move on to there. So XBAR actually, let's go ahead and look this up and confirm this. It's actually here in one of these the messages. So, boom, New York Post. So it is saying right here, snagged 5.6 million in federal coronavirus aid, virus aid, and let's go ahead and look at its market cap. So we come over here, and you know it could just got 10% of its market cap in federal aid, and long-term debt is almost the exact amount of its debt. So that is a good indicator. But at the same time, right here, the reverse split was approved. So this one's sketchy. You know, honestly, I'm probably going to go ahead and remove. I'm going to keep it on my watch list just to show, but let's just go through the SSS here. XBAR. So it was a recent runner. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 16. Risk reward, if I were to try to get in. If I were try to get in, I would try to get in right here at the 8.5 ranges, and I would try to go ahead and bounce out whenever it comes back down to 8.3. So that's looking at what, 2 cents of downside if I get into the 8.5. And if it hits 8.5, I really want it to try to at least go back up to the 9.5. So 10 cents of upside, 2 cents of downside, 5 to 1 risk reward. That's a good risk reward in my eyes. So risk reward, I'm going to go ahead and leave that at 18. Ease of entry and exit. Last time I played this, it was pretty easy to get in and get out. Passive history of spiking. It has spiked before in the past on a high volume, especially with the COVID play. So that's going to be another 10. Reason and catalyst. I'm going to bump that down to a 3. Just because I don't like the fact that it is. I really don't like the fact that they have a reverse split in play. Even though it's still higher up on my SSS as a potential buy, this is going to be a very, very skeptical play. So honestly, I'm going to bump that risk reward down to an 8, just because it does have that reverse split in play. You know what? That's more like going to be a 5. That reverse split, I don't like that it was approved, and I do not want to get stuck in a stock that's doing a reverse split. So 68 is less of a buy in my eyes. So I'm going to put 68 SSS. I have my I'll pull this up here so y'all can see my screen too. I have my watch list I'm building here on Profitly. And I already got everything all typed out for everybody. And then what do we say DVAX was? A 73. 73 SSS. All right, and then of course, finally, lastly, Mark. Oh, good old Mark. M-A-R-K. Mark is a pump and dump, man. Plain and simple. Mark is a pump and dump. I'm already in it. You can see that I have a small 75 shares in it. I actually have an order for another 25 if it drops down to 235, so I can get a nice average down. But it's on a green day, right? So it did have a green day after this nice big crack red day. Actually 2 red days, and then it had a green day. Oh, well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4 red days, and then one little tiny green day. So it does spike on volume. If volume comes in, it can spike. I haven't seen any news on Remark over the weekend, which is unfortunate. Right here, you can see that it doesn't really have any news on this weekend. And I go to the Twitter, sphere. I have it down here as well. Go to the Twitter sphere, and I just go to Mark, and go to the latest, and like you're not really seeing a whole lot of actual news related to Mark, except for see, look, need Mark news. Like there's no news happening. So honestly, I'm kind of scared that I'm stuck in this play right now. So going back to this right here. pattern price. It is first green day, but it's also, and it's off its highs for by about $1. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at a 15. Risk reward, since I'm already in it at 260. Like I said, 235 is what I'm looking at to get down. And yeah, I just don't know. It's a risky stock, so I'm going to put this at an 8. Ease of entry and exit. I've been able to get in and out easy. It spiked easy before in the past. Time and schedule is going to be the same. Reason catalyst. There really isn't a whole lot of reason or a catalyst. So that added 2 in market environment. So look, 69 on my SSS. So like I should not be in this, honestly. I really shouldn't be. But they also have earnings coming up soon. So, actually I can go ahead and change that. Reason catalyst. So since they do have earnings, another earnings report coming up soon, they do have a confirmed client in Win. So what I'm going to do is put this at 5. We'll put it at a 5. So it's sitting at a 72. So it is a small buy indicator, but not the strongest one that I want. So we'll just put that at a 72 SSS. But anyways, that's essentially my watch list for Monday. Like I said, my weekly watch list is massive, and I really do not feel like going through every single one of those. So if y'all have any questions, leave a comment. Like this, like my blog post that I'm about to post on. I'll also have this, of course, linked right here and on YouTube. Like the YouTube, comment, share. It really helps me out. And if y'all need anything, want anything, DM me on YouTube, Twitter, or Discord. All the links are down below in the description. Peace.